Hello everyone. We will be starting in just a second. If you are on the chat, please type something in and let me know if you can hear me. All right, if you could hear me, please type something into the chat. That would be great. I'll be starting in just about 1 or 2 minutes. And we're live. Hello everyone and welcome to Altcoin Mentors. My name is Charlie and today I'm going to be talking about the price action in the last 2 weeks, since I was not actually available for the last week because I was traveling. As you can see, I'm in a new location here in Montreal living with Peter and trading full-time. Very exciting development in my life. Anyway, today I'm going to be talking about the recent price action in Bitcoin and a few other altcoins, as well as going into my strategy for the week and then answering any questions that you guys have about anything in crypto. So let's get started. Switch to screencast. Cool. So first thing I have to show off, as always, is the Altcoin Mentors Telegram channel. That is altcoinmentors.com/telegram or t.me/altcoinmentors. You can see that we post charts every single day. We have trading tips as well as all of our videos, and this is the best place for you to catch us during the week. And then in our Telegram channel, we have the model portfolio. So this is just tracking a theoretical $50,000 invested into crypto. And you can see all the coins that we are invested in right now. Quite a few are underwater, unfortunately. Made a small mistake, but that's okay. I'm pretty happy with where we ended up being right now. And then perhaps what most of you are interested in is my current watch list. So if you just go to the Altcoin Mentors Model Portfolio spreadsheet, you click on the 5/19 watch list, and you can see a lot of coins, as well as the current prices, targets, supports, as well as probabilities, and then various notes that I make when I'm doing these. Right now, Monaco is at the very top, and you'll see that this is low probability. That seems to happen a lot, where you get some wild targets and they're low probability, but it's just how it goes in crypto. And if you are not yet signed up for the model portfolio, you can go to altcoinmentors.com/portfolio and grab that right away. You just click Get Access Now and you type in your information. It'll be sent to your inbox immediately. Lastly, I am going to be talking about the content I'm talking about today was sent out earlier this morning to all of our subscribers, and if you want to get signed up for that, last week's will be sent to your email immediately, and that is at altcoinmentors.com/strategy, and you'll be prompted on this page. Do note that if you sign up for the model portfolio, you'll automatically get the strategy notes as well. So don't fret about that if you're not. And this is just these weeks. You can see all the charts and what I'll be talking about today. So let me get to the weekly chart, since I always like to start with that, just to remind everyone where we stand in the market right now. Pull this up. All right, so if you are new to the channel, you may not have seen this before. This is the Bitcoin weekly chart, and specifically what I think is going to happen. And in this scenario, we are either just coming out of or are currently in a major wave 4 for Bitcoin. And that means that we have one more leg up before a larger downturn. And you'll see that you have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then that final wave 5 is going to be in this area. We may already be in that. And perhaps most importantly, the target for that wave 5 is between $48,000 and $82,000 per one Bitcoin. And then after that, the projection is not pretty. It falls all the way down to potentially 13,000 and then goes way, way up to 800,000. So just keep in mind that this is not intended to be used as exact targets. All of these should be thought of as price ranges. So I gave the range 48,000 to 82,000. And perhaps for this larger wave 4, it is from 5,000 to 400. And I think this larger 5 was at 500,000 to 2 million. I know it sounds crazy now, but if you had talked to someone when Bitcoin was 1 cent, they would have thought it would be crazy if when you said that it was going to be 20,000 someday. Now moving on to the daily chart. This is the picture of where we are right now. And there actually is one count missing, and that is this one. Let me just change that to, I don't know, yellow. As you can see, there is a lot of different ways that we can dissect the daily chart. And as I've said before, I don't really give an edge to any of them, just because if I publicly say that I think one is more likely than the other, then it skews my analysis a bit later. Previously, I did say that I like the triangle and the leading diagonal, but now I will say that I'm going to say that I'm neutral on all of these. These are definitely all possible, and none is really more likely than the other. And you can see the yellow count I just added is also a bearish count, where this just kind of pinballs in between the two yellow lines until the downside target of between 4,800 and 3,000. Oh, and the point I forgot to mention before on the weekly chart was that until 3,100 is breached, I am still looking up to 48,000. So yeah, pretty bullish, unlike what some people on Twitter still think. So that is the daily chart. Let me save that and move on to 6 hour. Some of the colors have changed between the daily and the chart you're looking at right now, and I know that's a little bit confusing. I apologize for that. When I have a little bit more time, I'll try to bring those to parity, but for now, you just have to know that the leading diagonal is in the green, your triangle is still in red, and the previously yellow is now in that lighter blue. on this chart, note that it is still very nebulous as to which one exactly it's going to, which path exactly that Bitcoin is going to take. Because you have, yeah, all of them are still in play. You had a 5 up from here. So if you're not familiar with LA Wave, what we're looking for, where can I, let me do it down here. What we're looking for is to get 5 waves up and then 3 down. And you can see that we have five waves up right here. It's not perfect. And perhaps the most troubling thing is that you have an extended fifth. And typically when you have an extended fifth, well, first of all, Bitcoin is known for extended fifths, but when you are charting and you see an extended fifth, you have to be wary that it is potentially only a 3-wave move. And that in case it is a 3-wave move, that would be bearish for Bitcoin. So if we turn the waves off, turn the lines off. For now, for the green count, we're saying that this is 5-wave move up, and what I just said, we expect 3 down, and we got it. You had the A here, then your B wave up that did break the high, and then from then we are perhaps still in this C wave down. Now the real question is, when we get this C down, is it going to rally up correctively and just be a part of this blue where we see 3 down and we get a lower low at 5,000? Or are we going to see a bounce impulsively up past this 9130 region, and you'll see the green count play out, and this green is just part, could also be part of either the triangle or that larger leading diagonal. I will say that for now I'm looking up until we get a decisive breach of the $7,100 region. And the reason that I'm giving the edge to a bullish count is because I do believe that this was in fact 5 waves. Now, bullish counts are still not, or bearish counts are still not off of the table if we get an impulsive rally. What this could also be is a larger ABC, so A, and then this was B, and then we see the C. I'm running out of colors. I guess this will be, okay, we'll make that pink as well. It's the wrong degree, but it's okay. So this could just be 3 up here, and then we see that larger C wave down into this region of 4,800 and 3,000. So lots of ways that Bitcoin still has to prove itself. Let me delete that. And then I'll go on to the 90-minute time frame. So now if you're just joining in, normally it is not like this. And by this I mean normally it is not so nebulous. Normally we can pretty much identify what is impulsive and what is corrective, and from that you can have a much more strong view of which scenario is most likely. But unfortunately, Bitcoin does like to make things harder for technical analysts in many ways. And this is just one example where the 3 views are all still in play on this time frame as well. It's possible that this was the 1, 2, and you got 3, 4, and then we still have the 5 to go into the region between 7,600 and 7,400. Also possible is the green, where we had a complete structure and we only see up from here. And also possible is the WXY, where again we have one more low into that region between 7,600 and 7,400. I'm gonna take a sip of water. So now the question is, with all of the possible things that is happening, what is the strategy here? And if you've seen the strategy notes or any of the strategy videos for the past month, I've been saying that we are currently seeing the best buying opportunity, and by best I mean highest probability, but yet still has a good risk to reward. So it's the best buying opportunity since we have seen the correction start in early January, late December. So Jason had asked, are you mostly in crypto or fiat? I am 90% invested in crypto right now, and the model portfolio reflects that. I'm trying to keep them fairly similar. And the reason is that there's a very clear buying spot, which was, let me zoom out a little bit and show this. So the three buying spots to be buying Bitcoin on from the larger time frame were at these three white lines, which are the three major Fibonacci levels for a 1-2. And so that is the 8,300, the 7,900, and the 7,500. So I had buys at each of these levels, and I got filled at the 8,300, and I just barely didn't get filled at the 7,900. And once you have a possible bottom, which this is, and the reason that this is a possible bottom is because you have divergences between the price. So the price is making lower lows, whereas we are seeing higher lows. Whereas we are seeing higher lows on the MACD, the RSI, and on the OBV oscillator. And when you see this, it is a sign that the current trend is exhausted and that you have a potential trend reversal in progress. So that is a major bottom, a possible major bottom. Once you have a possible major bottom, what you're looking for is to get 5 waves up past the 61.8% retrace of the correction. And that level is 91.30. So if we can fill out this 5-wave move up in green, then we can call this as the bottom. And we can eliminate the blue bearish count, immediately bearish count. But until then, it is still nebulous. And it does not help that on an even smaller time frame, the rally that we got off of the lows was not impulsive. It was perhaps instead a leading diagonal, which is what I have it as here, or it was corrective and we see one more low down. Either way, I still have bid set at those critical $7,900 and $7,500 levels, and will only turn bearish if we either get a clear breach of the 7,100 region, or if we see a corrective rally out of this region, out of either one more low or out of the immediate structure here. And of course, for intra-week updates, those will all be posted in our Telegram channel, t.me/altcoinmentors. But for now, I am going to be playing the bull side. I have a swing trade set up on an even smaller time frame. So that is, you'll see that the 3 key Fibonacci levels, if this in fact was a leading diagonal, are at the white lines here. So that's 83.40, 82.60, and 81.80. So I have buys there with a stop loss below the $8,000 level. And I'll be taking the majority of that off at the 3 here and the 5 here. And note that this is on a much smaller time frame, so this is a swing trade. And I think that's all that I wanted to say on Bitcoin. If you have any questions on the Bitcoin chart, please put them in the chat right now. I just prefer to have the questions segmented for those who want to watch just one part of the live stream. So if you have any questions for Bitcoin, I'll give that 2 more minutes. And just to reiterate the strategy, I am bullish until 7,100 is broken. At that point, I will be selling half, and I'll be selling the other half if we get a breach of the previous low at 6,400. Until then, I'm staying mainly invested in crypto and will only be adding more. All right, no questions? Let's move on to some altcoins. Firstly, Ethereum. Now, it is mainly the altcoins. Wasn't phrased right. It is because of the altcoins that I am leaning more bullish on Bitcoin. Bitcoin has many ways that it can be bearish right now, but we can take advantage of how most charts in crypto are correlated to one another. So Ethereum, while obviously not a perfect tick for tick correlation, it is very heavily correlated to Bitcoin. And the Ethereum chart is extremely bullish right now. It certainly has no indication of breaking below 3,500, which was the early April lows. And because of this, I am forced to look up in Bitcoin and in crypto as a whole in general. There are 2 ways that this could be bearish. The first is that this was not in fact 5 waves up. And in Ethereum, again, it is a little bit nebulous. But in some of the other ones, it is very clear. And the other way it could be bearish is if we have this as an A instead of a 1. We had the B, and then we have a C up only into around the $1,500 level. And then after we get into here, we get that further drop down into deeper corrections. And that is still very much in play. But we can still get some upside by buying in this region and then taking off some in the region between, say, 1,000 and 1,500 for Ethereum specifically. But in general, between the 764 extension and 1382 extensions. But because this was quite a clear impulse, and if we give it the benefit of the doubt that it is in fact a 1-2 and not an AB, then we have something set up to be very bullish. And yes, Zach says, agree with ABC. I'd be interested to hear why exactly you think that we're going lower. If there's some other reason that I missed and haven't thought of, I would love to hear it. So yeah, that is Ethereum. Very bullish setup as it stands. It didn't even get a lower low before that A. It was in fact an expanded flat, which is a sign of, how do I say this? It's a sign of pent up buying pressure. Now if we look at things like Bcash, Bcash had a much clearer 5 waves up than Bitcoin. You had the smaller 1, 2, very clear 4, and then your final 5. So it had a very extended 3, which was what we really like to see. And then it had a nice retrace, and the retrace actually did hit right in the region that we want it to be. So again, this is shaping up to be quite bullish. But just like before, you have to keep close watch just to make sure that additional supports are not being broken. And as of now, I see no reason to think that they will be broken. Now if we go to Ripple, Ripple very clearly also looks like 5 up. In fact, it's very, very correlated with Bitcoin for some reason, which is interesting. And again, it is possible that this is an ABC. And that we see lower. And in Ripple's case, that lower would be 20 cents-ish. But again, we can still play this upside and just take profits a little bit earlier than we would if we were assuming the 1-2. Either way, now is the time to buy. And that's really the difference between analysis and trading, where sometimes in trading, you don't have to be completely right to make money. You just have to be on the right side of all of the probabilities that can occur. And so now I'm going to show you a recent addition to the watch list on the mono portfolio, and that is Flow. So Flow is a coin that I first saw. Oh, there we go. I first heard of Flow in an interview with Patrick Byrne, who is the CEO of Overstock. And as you know, Overstock has Medici Ventures, DeSoto, and one more that I can't remember. Some other blockchain company. And Patrick Byrne, T0, he was referring to T0, where he said that they were very interested in using Flow, which is Florin. And so I looked into it, and the chart looks very, very bullish as well. In fact, perhaps the most bullish of any. I think it's, in terms of reward to risk on the watch list, it's definitely up there, number 4. And it has a very high probability because it has such a long history. And in our Telegram channel, I had said that I was buying in this region here. And so we got fills at both the 618 and the 0.5, and it has rallied since nicely out of that region. And the next target for this is going to be 1.92. The current price is at 1.1 or 0.11 cents. So that is about 10x upside in the next rally. Now, of course, still potential for that ABC, but if it does play out, that would be very, very nice return. Another recent addition to the watch list is Link. So Chainlink is actually a project that I very much like fundamentally. The only problem fundamentally with Chainlink is that I don't think they have enough developers, but they have quite the exciting product, and it is incredibly important to have decentralized oracles for crypto to succeed and have any real use cases. Chainlink, very, very, very clear. 5 moves up, 5 waves up. And again, this just adds credence to the idea that Bitcoin's move up was not an ABC and was in fact also a 5-wave move up. You had it touching that region that we really like to see for a nice retrace for 2. And then what we really want to see after that is for an impulse to stretch its way up to that the larger target of nearly $8, currently sitting at 50 cents. So this would be a very, very nice return if, in fact, the market is about to turn a new corner and become extremely bullish. So, in conclusion for altcoins, I know I only showed a few, and I can look at a few more if any of you want me to, but they just add a little bit more confidence that the market is bullish right now. And like I've said, even if we have that C wave up instead of a 3rd wave impulse, we can still make good money playing that bounce. And it will be very clear if we see that C wave up and we can short in order to get even more profit on our positions. So it'll be an early warning signal. Cool. So I think that is all that I wanted to say. So now we will go into the question and answer section. So if you have any questions, please, please, please put them in the chat. And I will get to them one by one. So Alex said, what is your opinion on the ETH BTC pair? I have not looked at the ETH BTC pair in quite a while. Let's check it out. Does Bitstamp have the longest one? Oh, that's messy. It only goes down there. If anyone knows what the longest Bitcoin pair is, let me know. Is that Poloniex? Okay, that's long enough. Turn off auto. To me, this looks like a leading diagonal up. 1, 2, 3, 4, and it looks like ABC. So I do think that it does look to me that Bitcoin will continue, or Ethereum will continue to outperform Ethereum. Wow, that's a pretty nice trend line, actually. Interesting. Let me label it fully, actually. Bang, bang. Look at that. 1, 2, 3. Wrong one. Sorry, guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Minor. No. Minute. And then this will be A, B, C. So the thing with leading diagonals is that they are hard to predict. So I would not trade on this, but it is hard for me to say that this is bearish. And I think that's that's all I will say on it. It's definitely, yeah, it's not bearish, but I wouldn't trade on it. perhaps you would want to use some other form of technical analysis on this. All right, what about Augur, ANT, USD? Wow, that doesn't look good. Wow, that is a lot of noise. I'm trying to figure out right now is if this was impulsive. This right here. So it's possible this was a leading diagonal for 1, but it doesn't really fit the proportions after that. Yeah, this is gonna have to be another leading diagonal. So unfortunately, if this is bullish, I'm not saying, oh wait, you were saying Augur, ANT, not, this is Aragon. What is Augur? Zach, did you mean Augur or ANT? Rep. Augur is rep. I don't have a chart for that either. I'll move on to the next one for now. EOS. And then I'll also pull up ENG for Jason. EOS looks good. EOS is my biggest regret of this year because I had bought it right here, right almost at the bottom here. And then I thought the entire market was going to go down the toilet, and then I sold it. And missed out on this huge pump up 4x, and that was unfortunate. Learned a lesson about not taking charts on, about having to view charts as just that chart and not make predictions on other things. So yeah, I mean, EOS had a critical must-hold support at 10.8. And it has held above it so far. So I'm still confident in this. And the price target is at $33. So yeah, EOS looks good. Enigma. See, Enigma is another leading diagonal on a larger time frame. So that makes it hard to predict. But for end of year price prediction 2018, 2019. So let's keep the assumption that Enigma will move with Bitcoin and that it's going to have a very large move up, very large move down, and then a fifth up. So let's say that it ends at the major third. In that case, the typical target for a leading diagonal, which is, again, I'm going to say this again, not high probability, the typical target would be between $47 and $75. Okay, so it was ANT. Yeah, it's nothing high probability. Yeah, long term isn't that helpful. If we go to short term looks just like everything else. Clear 5 up. Really messy though, since it doesn't seem like it has a lot of volume on it. You can see all these little random spikes from people market buying. So I'd be kind of wary because of that. What was so that was at $2, and at the top got to 5. So 2.5x move, bottom to top. That's okay. There were a lot of other things that had larger moves than that. So if you really like it fundamentally, I would say that it's not bearish, but it's not among the top coins for reward to risk. Zcash. Zcash, I do not like fundamentally. I'll say that because of the founder's fee mainly. 20% of everything mined goes to the people who made it. I think that's a little bit ridiculous. It's now in Gemini. I don't really know. Like, I guess that's good. That's why I mean, obviously that's why I pumped, but oof. Is that as much history as it has? Oh, it's on Bitfinex. Let's use that. Yeah. I guess it is as much history as it has. Definitely not clean. Especially so locally it looks good. If it can follow through. So it looks to be in the middle of 5 up, and it's going to be in trouble if it stops here. If it can break below I'm gonna eyeball this. I apologize in advance. The say $260, $280 region, if it breaks below that, that would be very bearish. And this would morph into more of a leading diagonal versus the impulse that it looks like right now. So if it is impulsive, it looks good to continue past 500, 600 into the 700s. But again, very possible that it just becomes a leading diagonal as well. So that could have been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it doesn't even get to the 600s in that case. So this would be one to watch very closely if you're trading it. Wax. Don't have wax. That is not much to go on. Let's see if someone else has. Oh, it's just Bitfinex. Okay, we're going to have to go on CoinMarketCap for this one. How much history does it have? Oh, I guess it is that new. Oh, it's not that new. Never mind. But did make a new low. So, what was that low? Okay, so this is among the coins that had bottomed on March 18. So that was at 10 cents. Got all the way to 40 cents. Wow. Let's just reduce that. So I'm going to state right off the bat that doing technical analysis off of the CoinMarketCap chart has only lost me money. Actually, I might be at a net positive now with Ravencoin. But this looks like a potential 5 up. This kind of looks like 3, so but you can give it the benefit of the doubt. And it hasn't retraced that much. Yeah, I don't know, honestly. I can't tell you anything that is definitive in any way or the other. This is just going to have to be one that you're playing on fundamentals. And this is the gaming coin, right? Yeah, OP skins. I don't know enough about the industry to make a fundamental, to give anything high probability on fundamentals either. So I'll move on to the next one. Request Network. I also love Request Network. I think that if Request Network does become as big as they want to be, then it will be absolutely gigantic. Oh, interesting. It made a new low. So let's move that down, 0.713. Move that, and then that works out. So that goes there. This is just like Ethereum. Well, okay, we'll say it's more like Bitcoin, where had a good 5 up and is now just starting its potentially just starting its third wave up. So what was that? That was 7.4. So 0.74, and the bottom of this was 0.136. Yeah. So that would place that there, that there, that. Oh, damn it. Okay. So that is close enough. Ah, damn. That's the annoying thing about TradingView. Some of the tools are not incredibly well thought out. But yeah, long term looks amazing. If it is in fact going to keep following this path. Okay, there we go. Finally. It has good potential on this next run up to break $1. And if it holds support after that, then we can start looking at the moon counts to over $10. But I'm not going to entertain that until we get to $1, and the market as a whole is very bullish. Again, just like everything else, this can be A, got the B, you only see a C up, and then another crash. Cool. So if there are any more questions, please put them below. Hot Hollow. I'd heard of this. I don't know if it's on any exchange that I can get a chart for. Yeah, no. So, okay, interesting. It's very recent. Let's take a look. Hollow Chain. Okay, so it's a dApp platform. Okay, all I can tell is that it's a dApp platform. So the question you want to ask now is, why would anyone use this over Ethereum? So they're really saying no bottlenecks. So I'm assuming that means higher scalability. and I guess they have some magic dust over it. And the rest of this is buzzwords. Let's go into the white paper. Okay, very technical. Let's see what it how it differentiates itself. So this has potential to be, it has technical potential to be interesting, but like a lot of other things, the best blockchain doesn't always win. What wins is marketing and money. And in that arena, Ethereum has the most network effects and EOS has the most money. So the question now becomes, how would Holochain possibly win over those? And I don't know how to answer that. That will be something that someone else will have to dive into. This is something that I would normally go to technicals to understand, because if I'm not investing on a fundamental reason that I know can play out, like Ravencoin, then it's going to have to be using sentiment, and for that I'll use Elliott Wave. Unfortunately, there's almost no history for this, so that is not an option. So yeah, if there is some fundamental reason why you think that this can win out over Ethereum and EOS, I would love to know that. Are you still big on Ravencoin? Which site do you recommend buying it on? Yes, I'm very much still bullish on Ravencoin, and I buy it on CryptoBridge, which is a decentralized exchange built on top of BitShares. All right, any other questions? Looks like we have about 5 minutes left. Let's see what Bitcoin's doing. Yeah, Bitcoin's still following what I thought was going to happen. It's just barreling its way nicely into this green box where I have some buy orders set. All right, and I'll let the final few questions trickle in as I do the outro. So, thank you everyone for watching. It is truly a pleasure to be able to help you all achieve all of your financial dreams, whether that means quitting your job to spend more time with your family or to get a Lamborghini. We don't judge here at Altcoin Mentors. We're just trying to help you in any way that we can with cryptocurrency trading and investing. And where we really try to differentiate ourselves is that we are trying to teach, not just provide information. And we're going to tell you all about that inside of when we launch our actual paid product. And so you'll get more information on that when we are further along in the development of that. So if you're interested in learning all the techniques that we have for trading and investing in cryptocurrencies, please make sure to join our email list and Telegram to keep updated for when we release that. Our Telegram is at t.me/altcoinmentors, so you can see a brief history of it right here. And again, if you want to sign up for the strategy notes, you can go to altcoinmentors.com/strategy, and that will be delivered right away. In the next week, Peter will be continuing to put out his technical analysis videos along with the occasional trading tip. And I will be starting a series on fundamental analysis for cryptocurrencies, as well as getting a video out on Ravencoin. So with that, I'll answer the final few questions. So the last one is analysis on Siacoin. So Scicoin looks very good long term. I know because I just did this chart a few days ago. It has very good potential. And I actually know the founder of Scicoin. Well, not know, but I went to the same school as him, and we have mutual friends. Fun fact. He lives in Boston, I think. Anyway. Yeah, Scicoin. I am waiting to buy once we see this leading diagonal fill out, and then we get a retrace for 2. So if for whatever reason you are incredibly bullish on Scicoin, you can buy now. But personally, I will wait until we get further confirmation and then buy the retrace. And with that, I'll thank you all again for watching and wish you good night.